Hi, I'm Trish from Chromatical. I'm a colourful digital marketing specialist who's so excited to share my 10 years of marketing knowledge and experience with fellow creatives like you. I've done a lot these past 10 years. I've built shops and blogs, ran courses, created marketing strategies for businesses big and small, and that's just to name a few. Marketing is my entire world, so if you're here because you want to market your brand a little bit differently, a little bit more colourfully, then you're in the right spot. Let's start. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of editing your photos. So important, so important. But first I need to show you this top because it's amazing. It says keen as, and it is mustard coloured, so keen as mustard, best top ever. In love. I haven't actually worn it in ages and it's a little bit tight now, but I'm a bit in love with it, so I just had to show that because I think it's a little bit above here. Anyway, so editing your photos, oh my god, so important. It's not just it would be nice if it was edited. It is you must edit your photos, even just the basics, even if it's just a little bit of adjustment of contrast and brightness. Just if that's all you've got to do, so that's all you've got to get time for, do it. Oh, and white balance. I'm going to chuck another one in there. Fix your white balance as well. I'll get into what that is. So basically, the difference between putting up an edited photo and a non-edited photo is huge. It can be the difference in sales. It can be the difference in bookings, and a great amount of bookings and sales. Editing your photos is just the biggest and the most easiest thing that you can do for your business. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't need to download Photoshop or anything like that. If you look at my Instagram account, it's Chromatical. If you don't follow me already, it's all of my photos, pretty much all my photos are just edited on my phone because I'm out and about, I'm sitting on the couch at night time, CBF with Photoshop at the moment. They're all just edited there, and the reason is that it's easy. It's easy, it's cheap. I use free programs, and I wouldn't ever post an unedited photo, ever. The value is huge. Now, the reason editing photos is good is, I'm going to put you in a perspective. If you've ever booked an Airbnb, could you imagine booking an Airbnb without pristine photos? Like, just someone's got out their handy cam and snapped a couple of photos that were sort of dark because they hadn't brightened it up, that you just wouldn't understand what the actual room was like. You wouldn't understand what the feeling was like being there. The reason a photo is beneficial is because you can understand the potential, the beauty behind it. Without a quality photo, you're not highlighting what you do, what you offer, or what you sell. So if you were to then see an Airbnb that was perfectly curated, perfectly photographed, well edited, and all that sort of thing, you'd be more than likely drawn to it. Even if it was the exact same property, just photographed differently, you'd look at the non-edited photos and sort of go, don't really like that, it's a bit dark, and all that sort of thing. Whereas it could be the exact same property, just photographed differently. So the photographed differently one could even, the edited photos of the Airbnb property could even charge more. They could charge more for the exact same property because they have edited photos, which highlights it more. It makes it seem more beautiful. It makes it show off what it really is like. And it also puts it in higher demand because everyone else is just going, ooh, that's pretty. And this translates into every industry. If you're in fashion, if you're an artist, if you are a baker, a foodie person, if it doesn't matter what you do, if you're a marketer like me, you need to spend the time on the details and highlight what you offer. People don't want to read in between the lines to try and work out if your product is good or not by basing the decision on trying to look into a photo to see if it's good or not. People look at a photo and they relate that to the quality of the product or the service. Now, if it's an unedited sort of dark photo, it's just a psychological thing that people go, oh nah, I think it's a bit shitter than XYZ from the other company. Again, could be the exact same product, they've just edited the photo. So the value is massive. Now, I hope that makes enough sense for now, because I'm going to go into a little bit about how to edit your photos, and it's a bit tricky to actually tell you over here without looking at your actual photo, but I'll give you a little bit of the basics and tell you a bit about the apps that I use. So I actually use 3 apps, but don't be scared by that. I don't use them all the time. I suggest downloading an app called Snapseed. It's free, and it's really easy to use. You've got to practice a little bit to understand how to use it and that sort of thing. Same with anything really, but it's super, super easy and valuable once you get the knack of it. So Snapseed is what I do for my basic adjustments. It's quite similar to Instagram. It's just got a little bit more quality and more functionality as well. So whenever I go into Snapseed, I will automatically adjust the curves, which is basically the brightness and the contrast. You can just literally do the brightness and contrast if you like. So brighten up that photo, get rid of that dark element of it, brighten it up so it's white and poppy, and then adjust the contrast a little bit as well. So adjusting the contrast makes the blacks blacks and the whites whites, instead of that weird little faded look that you often see in photos. So they're 2 big ones. The other thing that I would do is adjust the white balance. And the white balance is, you know when you take a photo outside and everything's kind of blue? Well, that's because the sky reflects the color blue onto everything around it, and white balance actually corrects that. It goes, okay, everything around here is blue, I'm going to fix that a little bit and make everything more balanced. Same with inside. You might have a yellow light on inside. If you took a photo in there and then had to adjust the white balance to make it less yellowy, it would start to balance out the color with a bit more blue. So you can control that manually, so because sometimes, I mean, as it is an app, it might not understand that exactly what it needs to correct, but you can do it manually and try and make sure that the whites are white instead of blue or yellow. Super can make a big difference. The other thing in there that I fix is I actually adjust the perspective. So this is one that I'm quite meticulous about, is that making sure my lines all line up. So if you take a photo that's tilted down, up, left, right, like that, lines of walls could be a bit like that, a bit turned, a bit tilty, and the angles can look just a bit weird. What I do in Snapseed is I change the perspective, and I can actually tilt a photo that's tilted that way, front on a little bit, and it automatically fixes it. Tilted down, I can fix it, tilt the photo back up so that it's completely flat aligned and it looks like I've taken a really good photo, even if it's a little bit shit. I do take some shit photos sometimes. Everyone does. You might be on the fly and you just go, oh, snap, and then it's like, oh, but the photo's like this. So it can actually make you adjust it and make it look like you've done a really well-intentioned photo. So I know I'm talking fast, but I'm gonna get to the end of this, try and get it done as quickly as possible. So they're the main ones in Snapseed that I do. Then I move over. I do lots of other things as well, dependent on the photo, but they're the big things that I make sure I do pretty much in every photograph. Then, I mean, that also has functionality to remove spots. So I posted a photo a while ago where I removed a kid from a ball pit. Like, you can remove things, you can do lots of cool stuff, but they're the sort of main things that I do every time. Now, then I move into a color story by A Beautiful Mess. They are basically a filter app, but they also have the functionality of adjusting color and all that sort of thing, similar to Snapseed, but I just prefer Snapseed. So I download a color story because you can actually download amazing filters, and I've found a few filters in there that really reflect my style. They really pop my colors up. They make it look really fancy and pretty and clean, and it's just an easy sort of way so that I don't have to manually find what I want to do with my photo adjustments every time. So they're similar to the Instagram filters. They're just a heck of a lot more of them. There's a lot of different styles. So there's ones with beautiful warm autumny hues. There's ones with bright pops of color and that make the whites white and the colors pop. There's lots of different ones. I found a few that suit me that I use every single time so that all of my photos are cohesive, and I love them. So you can download packs for like $3 each or something that have 10 filters in them. So you just look at the ones that might suit your style, because everyone's style is different, and you find the ones that suit you and you use them every time. Excuse me, gosh. Now, the next app that I use is only sometimes. It's only on very minor occasions Oh my gosh, I had Coke and I'm just like not doing very well with it. Whew. Anyway, the next one is called, Lightroom. Photoshop Lightroom. Now, don't be scared by me using Photoshop, but it is probably more of an advanced app on the phone. I use Adobe. I say Adobe. Did I say Adobe? Oh, I was brought up saying Adobe. So Adobe Lightroom is what I use. Now, I use this because I can actually select areas of my photo by sort of painting over it and adjust just elements of the photo. So for example, if I was to take a photo outside and the sky was grey, I could highlight the sky and then adjust the saturation, which is the amount of colour in that area, and I could bring out any kind of blue that was in it to make it look a little bit more blue. I could also, in the past, I've highlighted my face because it was really red because of a reflection or something. So I've just highlighted my face and I've pulled back the saturation, so reduced the amount of color in it so that my face looked like more of a normal color. So that's super beneficial for if you find something in your photo and you're like, oh, there's this weird bad bit in it, and you can actually fix just different areas. So they're the 3 apps that I really use on my phone. The first one is the main one, Snapseed. The second one I use for filters, which is a color story. And the third one's just for sometimes if I can't fix something exactly right, and that's the Lightroom. So I hope that helps. I hope you understand a bit more about the importance of editing a photo, because I just can't even explain how good it can be. And it's worth a million. If you had to spend half an hour on a photo, it's worth doing. If you just, in a million ways, even if it's just so that your feed on your Instagram looks good, so that it's worth following. A beautiful feed with edited photos builds your following so much quicker than not. So edit your photos, check out these apps because they're really good. And let me know what you reckon. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am hello@chromatical.com.au, or you can find me at chromatical.com.au, or I'm on Instagram at itschromatical. Happy photo editing. Please edit your photos, and I look forward to seeing the changes. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.